All right.
All right.
You're with Al, and
Paul Waring.
you said you were coming up with something different.
Yeah, so just P-dub. That's why I hat's on backwards.
It's cringy, that.
P-dub.
It's cringy, that.
Yeah.
You're with Al and the Biff.
Yeah, you're right. It's not good, is it?
Al and the Biff. This is part 2 of tournament prep. So part 1 was focusing on the putting, bit of pitching, bit of iron play, wasn't it?
Think about that, didn't you?
Yeah, I couldn't remember. And this one is the short game. So the chipping, bunker play, the way that you can prepare for a tournament, get yourself tuned in so you're stiff every chip and every bunker shot. And I'll also be talking about my performance in the tournament that I prepared for last week.
Why do people say stiff it?
I don't know.
Like, oh, stiff that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why.
I've never. That's such a golf slang thing, isn't it?
And I've heard people say, I've stiffed it to 6 foot.
Yeah.
You've not stiffed it then.
I've stiffed it to 15 foot. Well,
Yeah, you've not stiffed it then. I don't know why that's the thing, but so back to this video.
What are we talking about? Go on.
So we'll talk about my performance in my tournament last week and see if what we did the day before the tournament actually worked, if it magicked it. Is that about it?
I think so. I'm going to show him what to do then.
Okay then. Again, this is like he knows his role here now. Just automatically doing it and just setting it up. Just whilst he's doing that, this is an area of the game that I think this is so important to practice like this, because this is where for years I didn't practice like this. I was just trying to strike it somewhere in the club face and get it airborne and hit thousands of balls like that, and it's just not applicable. Like, you'd be better hitting 10 balls like this than 100 one after another trying to find a strike somehow, because that doesn't transfer onto the golf course. The first time you get out, you duff it and your head's falling off, and all of a sudden, like, you're throwing clubs at your golf bag and you're thinking, well, I've just spent 8 hours hitting chip shots, all of them were good, I've got on the golf course and the first one I've duffed. And at that point you pretty much just want to go in really and go home and forget about the game completely. End of the road job, innit?
I've heard you say that quite a few times, to be fair.
End of the road, that.
That's it. I think that's me done, mate.
I think I'm done, to be honest.
On a phone call on the way home. Hi mate, how'd you get on?
I think I'm done with it, to be honest. That's it. But hey, we had a good phone call the other day. We'll talk about this. I'm not like that now, honestly. I am not. I am fully engaged in my process now.
The penny dropped. The penny finally dropped. He finally understands it.
It's warm, isn't it, that sun now?
That's lovely, isn't it?
Anyway, we're going to do the chipping first before we get into the deep. It's quite deep. It is quite deep. It's quite deep.
Rolling in the...
Bit of a dell.
First things first.
First things first, he took the TrackMan back off me.
That's why it's still in one piece.
Last week.
Yeah, I'm giving
You
it
look
back.
like a TrackMan.
I do look like a TrackMan. Living TrackMan. No, right. You've heard us bang on before about, you know, landing a ball halfway, letting it run out halfway, landing it 25%, letting it run 75%. This
I
is
just
exactly
stood closer because I was looking even smaller. I stood that far away.
Okay. This is exactly what this is for, basically. I've set up a cone 2 yards off the green and another cone 2 yards onto the green, and all I'm going to get him to do is pitch various clubs on that cone and see where they run out to. So obviously then we can figure out which club's landing at 25%, running the other 75, which is landing a third, going the other 2/3, which is half and half. And if one goes 60, you know, 2/3 flight and then only a third running, then you can get a grasp of how quick the greens are straight away. This is brilliant to do on the morning of an event, or when you get to a new golf course or something like that. It takes 10-15 minutes and it just gets your sort of vision really spot on straight away. I'm being really serious today, aren't I?
Very formal.
Right, what have you got there? 7-iron?
7-iron.
Right, go on. So land just a couple of balls on that blue cone for us, mate.
Got to be honest, it's not a shot I play often, this. We're not trying to get it close to the hole, I'm just on that cone.
So you're doing this just away from any flags, you're just doing it up a green, basically. Nice. That's just a foot short, but you can see where they're running out to. They are literally touching. Oh, he's hit the cone. He's hit the cone.
Flies everywhere here. Doesn't count as wildlife. I hit the cone, that was good.
Yeah, you've hit the cone on the downslope, it's gone miles. Lovely. Okay, a couple of 9-irons now, please.
Flies. I tell you what's important. shouting when someone's just hit their shot off the third tee. That's not that important.
Sorry.
What's important, right? And I didn't show a great example of it there. But when you're chipping on the course, whatever club you've used, even if you've landed it in the wrong spot, watch where it lands and watch where it finishes. Because I think that's how you build feel. Because then you get used to saying, right, you kind of program in your mind and you're going, right, it's landed there, it's finished there.
I was just a foot or so past the landing spot.
Next time you play a wedge shot or whatever club you've used, you kind of got it in your head. The amount it's good shot. The amount it spends. Oh, why have we done this middle of the day? The amount it spends in the air compared to how much it rolls. That's how you build feel.
Beauty. There we go. Perfect. Okay, wedge, please.
So
that's exactly what we're doing.
Even if you hit a crap shot,
that's exactly what
we're doing.
What point you're trying to make? It's exactly what we're doing. Okay.
Well, just saying on the course. Don't go like, don't hit a chip and then be like, oh.
You apply this to the course.
Do you know what I mean? You can hit a shit one and then be like, oh.
So you can start to see, obviously, the landing point's not changing, but the distance the ball's going is the bit that's changing. So we're starting to give him a bit of an idea of how far and how much run out you get from different clubs. A little bit past it again, wasn't it?
This is just where I need to build that bit of feel, really, because you know, I'm pretty consistent in terms of strike and chipping now. Just need to build that feel. This is kind of like, I've been working on this, but this is kind of next stage for me, really. Now I've stopped killing people on the other side of the green. This is the sort of thing you can do.
Lovely. Lovely. Okay, 50.
Wedge is like matte finish, and shaft's matte finish, all like in one. Matt.
Who's Matt?
Matt Baldwin. Gonna get him on the channel soon. That's a good way to flow into that.
Lovely. Perfect. Oh, it's working well, this, mate. Oh, he's at the cone again. But it's perfect.
Coney.
Right.
Yes.
Lovely. Okay, and go to 54 have you got next?
Yeah.
Lovely.
I'm not trying to kill the flies, by the way, because it's not their fault.
And then just a couple of balls with your 60, please, mate.
I haven't got one.
58 then. Idiot. No need to rush, calm down.
Oh yeah, I was in again.
I know.
Yeah, I was away then. I was away.
Beauty.
Stop it, flies! Stop it! Ooh, a little short of it.
Not bad then. Little poppy one, no spin. It's alright then. Right, so he's gone through your bag, and I'll have a little wander up and I'll show you what I've been talking about. So these are your 58s.
Yeah.
That one just carried a little bit past it. These are your 54s.
Yeah.
Again, they were, that one was pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There's your 50s, again in a nice line, to be fair, aren't they? Just
yeah.
one's hit the cone.
Almost too good, if anything.
Almost too good. Can you see what's happening?
Oh, I can see a pattern here.
There's your wedge.
Like a proper cameraman here.
Tell you what. 9-iron. Had a 7-iron. These two were a little short of it.
Yeah.
And that was pretty good, I thought.
Okay.
So I think 7-iron would be more there.
Yeah, and you've got 8-iron in the middle of us hitting 8-iron.
Exactly.
I don't use 7-iron much, like chip and run, because I don't know why. Because I think because I work so long with the wedges, I've just got a better feel with the wedges, and I think I just go to them. I very rarely go lower than that. It's not something I'd say everyone needs to do. Everyone on tour is completely different. Like Shane Lowry uses 58 everywhere, doesn't he?
Or 60, wherever it is. Yeah, he uses most lofted.
But you'll mix it up, won't you?
Yeah, I do, yeah. But you look at Mickelson as well. Mickelson uses pretty much it's lob shots everywhere, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, I'm quite similar to Phil Mickelson, I'd say.
Yeah, I think you are as well.
In my short game these days, I reckon. What are you laughing at?
You make me laugh. Right, have a look at this. So I think looking at that, your 58's your half and half shot today on this new cut green.
Okay.
There you go. 2, 3, 4 yards.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh yeah, okay.
So literally landed.
Oh, the ball just shot across us.
So it's landed halfway.
Yeah.
And run the other half.
Okay.
Okay. So then you go to the other side of it. So if it land, if it goes 4 yards and then it goes 8 yards the other side. It's going to be around about your 50.
Yeah. Okay.
See what
Yeah.
what it does?
So like
so you're 25,
2/3, third.
Yeah. So then you're 25%, 75% shot. You have 4 yards. It's going to be 16, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that right? Good math.
4 is 8,
8,
12, 16. Yeah. So.
Seven, 9.
Wow. Simple. Wisdom Biff. Wisdom Biff.
Right then. Go on. So we're going to go far one.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Oh, that one up there.
So you've got a little bit of fringe, then predominantly green
Yeah.
to work with.
No. Wisdom.
18.
Wisdom. 18 yards.
So I want you to land this 4.5 yards, and that should run out the rest.
So would you do this? You'd actually pace a chip?
You can do. Why not? So you land 7-iron in and around that, and that should be pretty darn good.
Okay.
Oh, go in.
Yeah, it's literally it landed right at the edge of the cone on it.
I'm trying to get into shot with my smug grin.
Yeah, but I've got to play it. So.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so now we'll go. No, change. So, different camera view.
Oh, really? Are we?
Yep.
7-iron that. Shiny. Still shiny, innit? Hey, shiny job. This is something again that when I was struggling with my chipping, this was just not even a consideration, really. It was just. It's amazing, isn't it, how you go so far from this stuff when you're struggling with something. It's the things you should do.
But these are the things that are scoring relevant. Your actual.
We were talking about this last week.
That's an awful place to put the camera.
Is it?
Amateur hour.
We were talking about this last week. Huh?
Go on. What are we talking about?
About this sort of performance stuff last week. And going back to my tournament last week, so Leeds Cup, which was, as I said last week, a little fact, the oldest trophy in professional golf. Did you know that?
I do now.
Okay. And I made the cut. Tricky first day. Started really nicely, 2 under through 7. Then once it kind of went a bit wrong, it went wrong, but wasn't comfortable with my golf swing on the course, being very technical. Made the cut. Second round, shot 4 over second round, finished maybe like 35th or something. Again, just lost the plot late on, really. A couple of doubles, double 17, double 16 the first round, just silly. I think I had 3 doubles and a treble or something. One of them was a 4-putt. Yeah, 4-putted. Missed the green with an 8-iron. It's out of a bunker and 4-putted, so that was not pleasing. But I come off and we had a conversation, and it was the best I've ever felt coming off a golf course, having not played great, because like you said before, it was kind of like the penny dropped with me. Bit annoyed with myself because I've got so into technique that performing on the golf course was just, I couldn't do it.
Secondary to how you were swinging it. It was almost like
the
golf swing was more important than the actual score.
I'm going to stand here, my back's out in there. Yeah, won't be like that, shorter. Yeah, I didn't have, almost like I didn't have a bad shot. Like a typical bad shot. I didn't know what it was, so I'm stood there trying to make a perfect golf swing. And I've spoke about this before on the video, and this is why I was kind of disappointed in myself for getting into this mode in tournaments. But I think going back to the way that you can play with any sort of flow, that shows you where your true game's at. And then Eddie Pepperell said something in a podcast he did It's about putting plasters on his swing. So I've started playing much more freely this week. Feel a lot better about the game moving forward because I feel like I can say, this is my bad shot, whether it's right, how does that come about? How do I stop it? Rather than really not knowing what my bad shot is.
No, I'm too busy thinking about where the golf club goes to really, it's almost like the good shots, like, oh, that's what I need to do, just need to do that again.
And then
rather than learning about your own game and where your misses are.
And not enjoying it because you stood over there going, I just don't know where this is going. Unless I make the perfect swing, this is disaster. So it resulted in me hitting some absolutely brilliant shots. Like I hit a 2-iron on a par 5 from 256 I hit the best 2-iron I've ever hit. Made birdie. And then you follow that up with a 2-iron that goes sideways right because there was nothing in between. Honestly, you know,
Brilliant.
Nothing in between. It's like brilliant or terrible, and you can't have that because your brilliant might only still result in a par and your terrible is resulting in a 7, and you can't have that. You just need your terrible to be average, in which case it wouldn't be terrible, it'd be average.
Right, can we get back to chipping now?
Yeah.
Right, so I'm trying to make this applicable for him.
Just walking across the camera.
Yeah, perfect. True pro. So first one we had a little bit of fringe to carry, then a lot of green. Now we've got a little bit more fringe to carry and a little bit less green, so we're going to go 2/3 and a third on this one. Sorry, a third and then 2/3 run out. You're just an idiot.
Honestly, if you could do this on the course and you could just say, I'll just do this. Because this is where I struggle with thoughts. This is why the videos are good for me, because I need to watch this back. Like, genuinely need to watch this back so I can get this in my head, this sort of stuff.
Just over 12 yards.
Yeah.
So I'll put it at 4 and then it's going to run out 8.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's landed it on that first third point with 54. So that's what we figured out before.
Yeah. Nailed it.
Smashed it. But it's applicable, innit? Go on, have another go.
Do you know what?
He's just smashed it.
Yeah, but do you know what? This is why I quite like using the wedges. Because you get a bit more speed with the wedges, and if you overhit it,
You actually get a bit more spin.
it spins more, so it doesn't go, it's not disaster, is it? You know, you've just overhit it. Landed that far past it, and it's gone that far past.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone
Need
see
to
that?
work on me.
Landing spot.
Yeah.
So now it does. The thing you can learn from this is, well, is it my actual vision? Is it my actual ability to see the shot, or am I just not landing it in the actual place I need to land in? You're not landing it in the right place.
No, not far away. You can tell I'm positive about it though.
I do. I like it.
This is honestly, I enjoy a chip shot.
Right.
I do enjoy a chip shot.
Last one, half and half. Stick them over there.
Just quickly, in a routine chipping, this is what helped me out so much, is, and it's something I need to put into my long game as well, is focusing massively on technique. But I feel like I need to think a little bit about technique, so I do that in my practice swing. Feel it how I want to play it, as in technique wise, but not necessarily feeling positions, more just feel the technique, step in, and then my only focus, I have 2 focuses. One is the landing spot as I look up, like absolute focus on that, staring at that, almost eyes watering, back to the ball and just go. Don't waste any time. You'll notice I'm quite quick to kind of pull the trigger once I'm over the ball. And I think I almost sort of feel like I keep moving, like my feet keep moving. I'm never stood dead still. That's what I used to get, a bit of freeze, and then that's when you'd get like the tense involuntary movement jobs with the knees or the hands on. That's not what we like, so yeah, a bit of routine stuff is very important. 58 now. Oh, flat. What's that?
Wasp, it's going to bite you.
Oh, it is a wasp. I thought it was a dragonfly. Absolutely bricked it then. Wow. Again, that's not counted as wildlife segment. Where are we going?
So I'm just trying to show you why this is applicable,
Okay.
because you can see this now. There's half and half shot.
Right, let me just see if I've got this in shot. Balls, cone, flag.
Right. And this is why it becomes applicable, because you've got half a fringe to carry it over and then running out the other half. That's why this becomes so easy. and also in this situation, you might be tempted to open the club a little bit. You've just done it. You don't need to.
Yeah. I think you can overplay shots. I think you've
can.
got less room than what you have.
I think you can just play it with a bit more pace. Now, the only one little caveat on this one.
On what?
A little caveat. You like that, don't you?
A caveat?
I don't know. Is that such a thing? A little caveat, one little point, maybe?
Caveat? Where's that come from?
Don't know. Wisdom, you see, coming out.
Caveat. Wow.
I actually wouldn't like to try and land it as close to the fringe as that. Because if he does land it in the fringe, he's going to get a different bounce than he would on the green. So I would always try and give yourself a little bit more leeway of a yard or two onto the green to make sure you never catch the fringe, unless you need the fringe to slow the ball down, if you know what I mean.
I think that's where I always go, that especially giving lessons. I always say pick a spot 2 yards on the green as long as it's flat and work your way back from there. So almost like you could say wherever the ball is, say you're going to pitch it here, so this is your landing spot, and then whatever shot or club matches hitting that landing spot is going to run out. But you need to know exactly what we spoke about, how far each club runs out to be able to do that. But I like that kind of working back from 2 yards on, match it in with a club and then play it.
Go on then, half and half job. You're getting bitten again.
I don't know, I don't get bitten really, it's just the flies like me. Right, 50-50. I definitely look at that and think I need to open it up.
But you know you don't need to, you've just done it.
It's true.
You can just take a shot, nice pace shot, landing it just in and around the blue cone.
That would have gone in.
Well, that's enough of that. Next.
That would have gone in. It was a bit pacey, wasn't it?
It's about a foot past it as well. Perfect. Absolutely perfect landing spot.
It's amazing that. I mean, so simple.
Such
that,
an easy
mate.
game.
So simple. There's pennies dropping all over the place.
Everyone's dropping pennies.
There's pennies. Pennies everywhere. That hit the downslope a bit.
Yeah, it's alright, it's fine.
Pennies dropping.
Pennies dropping.
That makes
Biff
sense.
wisdom.
That makes sense. That takes 15 minutes to do.
Yeah.
And
That's
anyone
it.
can do it to build your feel, everyone's going to be a little different as well at the pace they play the shot in, whether it comes out a bit lower, but it's definitely worth getting your own numbers as much as it is getting your numbers with pitching and everything, knowing what each club does as your standard chip.
I just think it's worth knowing what you definitely 100% knowing what your half and half shot is. That is so important because then you can figure out the rest. Definitely get to know your half and half shot. Like Al just said there, you can do this in 15 minutes. You go to a new course, you go and play an invitation or an open event somewhere else, and you just get on the chipping green and you just do this for 15 minutes. It'll just give you so much more vision then for the rest of your day.
Play the same shot, open it up, crown it.
Well, the other side of it, you go back to it and you can then figure out, it's like, well, how many times am I actually landing it on my landing spot? Well, if you're not doing that enough times, you need to do some landing spot work, and it's dead easy. You're just trying to land the ball on the spot with different golf clubs.
Yeah.
It's as easy as that. That's training that element. Then you add your vision in the other side of it.
Don't
and the next minute,
overcomplicate.
you're holding golf shots.
I feel like I want to talk more about our conversation the other day. We come out with a lot of good stuff, and I wish we'd recorded it. But
we do it down the line on it.
I think we will do it down the line on it because I think it was really interesting. I read an article that someone wrote, and we'll talk about that on down the line. Yeah, let's do it down the line on it. So I think it's very, very important.
We might do down the line over a beer now, though, because obviously we can be close, but outdoors.
Oh, we can, yeah.
Yeah. Do down the line over a beer. Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, and if anyone's got any questions,
Oh, not this again.
yeah, we don't need to do loads, just the best ones. Fire over a couple of questions, and
Something sensible, nothing ridiculous.
might put them on. Should we do some sand shots?
Bunker job.
All right. Bunker lunges. This is like, that's your setup in a bunker.
Pretty much. I'm trying to help you here, and he's taking the piss.
I used to actually take the piss out of your bunkers. I do the same now. So spin, 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 spin. Yes, we're in it. We're still in.
Beauty.
Oh, that was the flag.
That works. Next.